Autumn has arrived in the mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., and it is a glorious afternoon at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Set. 19.
Watson on first down. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
On second and 11 now. Watson flushed out right. That complete to Lamar Miller. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for first and 10. To throw is Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. Watson with a give to Miller. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
You're set. 19. Check 48. Come on. Watch the slip.
A first carry now for Alex Collins. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Here's Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Alex Alex Collins, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Check it backer, check it backer.
Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Marcus Peters up to make the tackle.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 39, Watson, he finds Hopkins complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now Hill. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. To throw is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. A gain there of 30 big ones. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? And they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game. And we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. These two teams all tied after one.
With the score tied 7-7.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On second down, it's Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble. And it's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw, Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
3rd and long. It's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Come on, let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson escaping the pressure right. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Jackson now, throwing on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner, except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Watson now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tyus Bowser make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. And he's going to go down again.
I'm I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Watch out for Hill on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Set, ready, and read.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. There goes Mark Ingram. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big effort that time out of Ingram. 54 yards on the ground. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 16th touchdown of the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on.
Throwing again is Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Come on, let's go.
Jackson now. He's going deep for Brown. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's get off the field, D. 22, check, over. 22, check, over.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Here we go. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Now it's Jackson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Watch twins.
On second down, Ingram. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Let's go now. Mike. 60 out long. Yeah, right there. 56. Come on. Yo. 56.
Now Jackson throwing on third and long. Flush to his right. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. On the return, Carter. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 30 on second down, Watson, and the catch made by Hopkins. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. This is Miller, complete. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
First down, Texans.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Watson now going to run the option right. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Hey, what's that? 19! 48 right now. Let's go. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Hey, 31! 38, 48 smart, 48 smart. Ready?
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Not ideal there. That delay of game backs him up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on 3rd down.
Check 99! Check 99! Slam! Slam! Alert! Alert!
Out of the gun, Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football.
Without a doubt, because...
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Whitney merciless. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. On second down, it's Hill. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go. Here we go. Pittsburgh. I'm coming for you. You mine.
Throwing on third and long. Jackson. He uncorks it for Snead. He's got a man. Complete. A gain of 32 that time.
It's a gain of 32 yards. And the Baltimore first down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So a first and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. This is Ingram on first and 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, and it's third and short.
We own it. We own it.
Jackson, option right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still ate up time. Got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now it's Watson. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Ingram, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now left side on the swing pass. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Check 26, check 26. Single, slot. Hey, you're running out.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw is Watson. Throwing on 3rd and long. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Jackson on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 38-yard line.
Ready. Mike 51. Mike I got him.
And they take a knee. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And they will take a knee here. They put up their goal at the beginning of the season, and that was to win 7 games, and now they've accomplished that mission.
And congratulations to them for achieving their goal. They have to finish the season strong, but you've got to think that going forward for next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.